Hello, and today I'm going to teach you how to get Supreme Sharpness really easy, like the max enchantment. However, the easiest way of doing it is to actually get a villager that trades a lower Supreme Sharpness. The easy way of finding a Librarian villager that does a Supreme Sharpness is actually looking for one of these kingdoms. These kingdoms are two different types, I believe, and they are filled with little pods of different villagers. And it's possible, I think the most I've seen in one of these kingdoms is 7 librarians. So you have a good chance of finding librarian that trades Supreme Sharpness. However, you will need a lot of resources to get the trade up, which is a downside to it. You can just go around trading with librarian villagers until you get any sort of Supreme Sharpness. I'm not going to keep going to do that because you can find villagers and trade yourself. But it doesn't matter what Supreme Sharpness you've got. It's just lower levels. It's just going to take a little bit longer and a little bit more XP. So, once you've got a villager that trades a Supreme Sharpness, you can use these 2 items to, well, get Supreme Sharpness 5 at the same enchanting cost, basically. So, you will need a magic of 24 and you'll need a building of 12. Now, assuming that you got the worst Supreme Sharpness book, you will need this many Supreme Sharpness, which is 16 Supreme Sharpness 1 to get Supreme Sharpness 5. Higher your Supreme Sharpness, less you'll need. So Supreme Sharpness 2, you actually only need half this amount, and then half again for Supreme Sharpness 3, and you only need 2 books for Supreme Sharpness 4. But as you know, it gets higher and higher XP as you go up and keep enchanting. That's why we've got some blank books here, and we're going to use the Disenchanter. So what we can first do is just combine 2 of these Supreme Sharpnesses, and as you can see, it costs 8 levels to do that, to get Supreme Sharpness 2. So you will need quite a few levels for here, and then we can do the same again. We want to do it for all of these books, and once we've done it for all of the books, we'll have half the amount of books, but they're all going to be Supreme Sharpness 2. To my knowledge, this takes, I think it is 60 levels, which is quite a lot in total. Right, so now we've got Supreme Sharpness 2, but if we look at this, when we want to combine these 2 Supreme Sharpness 2s, it costs 14, which is quite a lot. However, you can make it cheaper by using this. So it was 14. So now, if I do this, it will clear all enchantments except for the top enchantment on the book. So I had Supreme Sharpness 2 here, and I have Supreme Sharpness 2 here, but it resets the price. So I'm just going to do it for 2. So I don't know for these 2 here. I'm going to put the book there. So if we have a look at 2 that haven't been reduced, it costs 14 to combine them. For these 2 though, it costs 12, so it's 2 levels less. But you might not think that's that much, but as we go up and up and up, that's how much it'll be as we go up. So if I do Supreme Sharpness, let's just have a look at 2 bog standard Supreme Sharpness 2 books here. So these ones have not been prior enchanted. These are the bog standard Supreme Sharpness 2. And as you can see, their base enchantment cost is 12. So by using the Disenchanter, we get it back down to its base enchantment cost, like it hasn't been enchanted yet. Which seems crazy, because once we combine all these together, and we get up to our Supreme Sharpness 4, if we didn't do that, so this is going to be a little bit off for this experiment, but if we didn't do that, so then we got these 2 gives us that one. So this one's cost 14, so that's 2 levels, so that's 4 levels already. 6 levels. So without using the Disenchanter, it costs 8 levels more, just for this one. But then what happens if we want to combine these 2 together? It costs 22 levels for 2 Supreme Sharpness 3 that have been double enchanted. However, once again, we can do this and this. So that's these 2 books here, and I'm going to put the book before it. So it was 22 to enchant these 2, now it's 16. That's a saving of 6 for this. And we work our way up to get Supreme Sharpness 5. So once we get that Supreme Sharpness 5, we can still enchant it to our weapons at the same price as a normal Supreme Sharpness 5. And this is the easier way of getting Supreme Sharpness. So as soon as you see a Supreme Sharpness trade from of any level from a villager, lock it in, because just with a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, you can get to Supreme Sharpness 5 really easy. So the most difficult part of this is just finding a villager that sells a Supreme Sharpness. But you're not looking for Supreme Sharpness 5 anymore. You're looking for Supreme Sharpness 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, which means we've got it's easier to find by quite a bit. So I hope that was helpful on how to use these two tools to get Supreme Sharpness 5 a lot easier. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you've got any requests for tutorials that you want to see, let me know in the comments, and I will try and make them. Until then, bye.